All right, let's get into it. We've got two huge stories crashing into each other today. On one hand, you've got Elon Musk making this insane trillion-dollar bet on our future in space. And on the other, well, right here on Earth, the whole AI revolution is slamming into a brick wall. And you know what connects them both? It all comes down to one thing: power.
So that's investor Kevin O'Leary talking about Elon Musk. And, I mean, what an endorsement, right? It really sets the stage perfectly for Musk's newest and maybe his wildest plan ever. Because let's be real, when Elon Musk says he's going to do something, the whole world stops and watches.
And here it is. This is the big mandate. Musk is planning to merge his AI company xAI with his rocket company SpaceX. We're talking about creating a single tech giant worth over $1 trillion. Now, this isn't just some boring corporate shuffle. No, this is a massive move, and it's all aimed at the stars.
I mean, just think about the sheer scale of this ambition. It's just staggering. We're not just talking about business here. This merger is about building the literal infrastructure for humanity's future way beyond Earth. We're talking data centers in space, self-growing bases on the moon, a whole civilization on Mars. I know, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but with Musk's track record, you kind of have to take it seriously.
And that's where O'Leary's comparison just hits the nail on the head. He's the modern Bruce Wayne. The idea is that Musk is just operating on a totally different level, you know? He's using his crazy resources and his vision to go after problems that seem completely impossible, like a real-life superhero making things happen that the rest of us would just call fantasy.
Okay, so Musk has his eyes on the stars, right? But back here on Earth, there's a huge planet-sized problem that's threatening not just his grand vision, but the entire AI industry. So let's bring it back down from space because reality is about to hit, and it's hitting hard.
Here's the deal. The demand for AI is absolutely exploding, but the power to run it all, it's just not there. The US power grid is completely tapped out. It's hit its limit. In O'Leary's own words, there is no more power. This is the single biggest bottleneck for everything.
And just look at the scale of this crisis. It is staggering. So data centers in North America need something like 45 gigawatts of power for this AI boom. So how much new power are we actually building? A measly 5 gigawatts. That is a massive, massive shortfall, a huge gap.
And you have to remember, this is a global race. The US is looking at a 15-year wait for new nuclear power. 15 years. Meanwhile, what's China doing? Oh, just moving at light speed. They added 500 gigawatts of power last year alone. So when you talk about the race for AI dominance, this energy gap is a major, major problem for the US. So you've got Musk's solution, which is literally in space, but Kevin O'Leary, he's placing his bets right here on Earth. He's all about what he calls reality right now. You know, actually solving the power crisis we have today so this whole AI thing doesn't just grind to a halt.
So what's his big strategy? Well, here's the core of it. He's going after something called stranded natural gas. Think of it as these huge, untapped pools of energy that are just sitting there. His plan is simple. Buy up the rights to this gas and then build new power plants right there on the spot, specifically to power all these new data centers.
And trust me, he is not thinking small here. O'Leary has already locked down 26,000 acres of land. That's a ton of land, all rich with natural gas, all across North America. He's basically building the entire energy infrastructure from scratch, setting himself up to be a major power broker in this new AI gold rush.
And this is where the business logic is just brilliant. See, he's not trying to compete with guys like Elon Musk or with OpenAI. Nope. He's building the one thing they all desperately need: power. He's making a bet that even these huge visionaries are going to have to come to him when they need to plug their new world-changing tech into the wall.
But O'Leary's focus on these practical, real-world solutions, it doesn't just stop with power plants. It's actually led to this really fascinating shift in his own philosophy about what it really takes to win in business.
So what do you think? Has Kevin O'Leary gone soft? I mean, it's a totally fair question, right? This is the guy who was famous for his whole work-yourself-to-death mantra, but his tune has completely changed, and his reason why? Well, it's a pretty powerful lesson for all of us. Just look at this. It's night and day. The old Mr. Wonderful was all about working 25/8, that impossible, round-the-clock grind. The new O'Leary? He says that whole approach isn't just a bad idea, he flat out calls it stupid. He's realized that burnout isn't some badge of honor.
It's a massive liability for any business. So, what's taken the place of that old brutal mantra? It's a whole new philosophy. It's this idea that your value isn't measured by how many hours you punch on a clock, but by the quality of what you actually produce. It's all about being sharp, being healthy, and being focused.
And here's the thing, he actually lives by this. This is his personal rulebook now. More than 7 hours of sleep, an hour and a half of exercise every single day. And get this, no major decisions after 1 p.m., because he knows he'll be tired. He still starts his day super early, at 5:30 a.m., but the whole goal is peak productivity, not just looking busy.
And look, this isn't just some feel-good advice he's handing out. This is now a core part of how he invests his money. He is telling entrepreneurs straight up, if you're not sharp, healthy, and focused, if you're burning yourself out, I don't invest in you. It's a total 180, and it completely changes what we think a high performer is supposed to look like.
So that leaves us with this really interesting question, doesn't it? What really drives innovation forward? Is it the wild, audacious, shoot-for-the-stars vision of someone like Elon Musk? Or is it the disciplined, grounded, real-world execution of people like O'Leary, who are solving the problems right here, right now? You know, maybe the real answer isn't one or the other. Maybe it's about finding that perfect balance between the two.